Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, take a look at a stack of comic books here. I went out to the garage looking for something specific I wanted to show, and I cannot find those books. And there's something that were always very important to me. I loved them, and I would never have gotten rid of them, but I have no clue where they could be hiding. I couldn't find them anywhere. It's probably hiding the same place. I've got another particular little treasure hidden, and probably hid it someplace, and now I can't find it. Anyway, so instead, I thought I'd grab a baker's dozen of books, of more or less random books, to show you. Then I counted them, and I accidentally got one too many, so it's going to be 14 instead of a baker's dozen. So, we're going to start it off with this really, really rough, worn copy of Tales to Astonish, featuring the Submariner and the Incredible Hulk. But Namor's got the cover, and it's got some really nice artwork in here. Some people I'm less familiar with. Adam Austin, rather. Stan Lee story. Adam Austin did the pencils with Vince Colletta's inks. And this is actually a little inks here is a little nicer inks. This is and the book pages don't want to open up. Stuff that I like better from Vince Colletta, better than some of the others. Oh, that's a good one right there. That's a weird looking trident, but yeah, some nice stuff. And then on the Hulk story, yes, is of course the layout, because it still has a little Kirby-ish look to it. That's because Jack Kirby just did the brief layouts, but the finished pencils were by Scott Edward, who I have no clue who is. And then Mickey DeMeo did the inking on this, on the Hulk in here. And some decent stuff. That's from 1965. And also from 65, we have Journey into Mystery number 124. It says, "Enter Hercules, the glory and the grandeur." So this is the issue that introduced Hercules into the Marvel universe. And again, this is Kirby pencils and Vince Colletta inks, and I actually liked his inking on Thor this time. It kind of softened Kirby's pencils. There's a lot of good action, but even though this introduces Thor, where I just had it. Gosh, come on! There it is. The first panel of Hercules. But even though it introduces Hercules into the Marvel universe, he and Thor actually never meet yet. Thor is fighting some super powerful tyrant of some kind. Next, the coming of Hercules. So they haven't actually met, but there are a couple pages with Hercules in it, and then it's followed up with still same crew doing the work, A Tale of Asgard, and so this is some older one. And the Tales of Asgard were really cool, but I noticed this picture here, and this splash page, as these the swarm, these bug-like beings swarm, and they are very reminiscent of Kirby's later creations, the parademons for DC, and the who work for Darkseid. Okay, then 1966 we have Spyman #1 from Harvey Comics, a Harvey thriller, and this is a book that has supposedly has one panel from one drawing from Jim Steranko before he got on with Marvel. But so this is really cool. This is #1. But unfortunately, somebody, previous owner, on the very first page, cut out a panel, and that was the panel that shows it has Steranko's hand drawing of this robotic hand that this guy's got in here. Plus, it has some real nice artwork in it. This first part is drawn by, looks like it's drawn by George Tuska, and I don't know who the other artist is. And here's the other thing: they cut out a splash panel of one of the chapters in the story. So that's all it's there. Oh, just really spoiled that book. Here's some really nice artwork on this one, and I don't know who the artist is or who wrote it. Then we go to that's also 1966. This is Captain Marvel #15. This is spectacular cover here. What Zoe might live, a galaxy must die. And this has got no credit. Oh, there it is. Tom Sutton pencils, written by Gary Friedrich. But some of these figures, some of these panels, looks like Wally Wood. So I wonder if he might have swiped some Wally Wood figures or something in there. And some parts looks makes me think of Herb Trimpe. But that's good. I like this version of Marvel's Captain Marvel a lot. Then we go to, this is what, 67, 69, whatever, 72. X-Men #77. Action all the way. The world's strangest teenagers finally meet their match. Now strikes the super adaptoid. I like this cover. I always liked the super adaptoid. And this is written by Roy Thomas with Warner Roth doing the pencils, and John Tartaglione is the inker. And this has when they had a new guy on the team who guess he absorbed other mutants' powers. Yeah, so he had all the powers of the other X-Men. And then they had the super adaptoid, which is kind of a swipe of Amazo from DC. And that was real nice. Then this is that was 72. This is I think it was 77. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing, and the Liberty Legion. 76. This is when Showdown at Sea. This is when the Thing was transported through time back to World War II, and fought alongside the Liberty Legion. And here's this insert, and I guess not all these books. Oh, that's a good panel right there. Selling all these diamond rings and stuff for ads. Then we go over to DC, and here's DC Superstars #13. It presents the wild and wacky world of Sergio Aragonés. And this is what year was this from? 77. Yeah, 77. I wonder, because there was a short-lived Sergio Aragonés TV show about this time too, and I think that might have been the same. Anyway, whether it was any kind of tie-in or not at all, because all Aragonés art. And here, but it's basically, I said, hi there, no, we've been thrown out of Plop, but we're not finished with this yet. So this, I think, get the impression that this is basically, these stories here are basically what was originally intended to be something in Plop, but Plop was canceled, so they did put this one because it's got, just the great Sergio Aragona's cartooning, humor, some gag stuff, and Sergio is just all around great. I just love Sergio. I my whole life. So, and then that was the number 13. Then back to Marvel. It's king size annual Thor number 8. Is Thunder over Troy. All new Thor versus Zeus in the midst of the Trojan War. This has got Roy Thomas writing, John Buscema, and Tony DeZuniga. A great team, from Conan the Barbarian. And here they are with Thor, in which Thor is transported through time, loses his memory, and he's depowered. Mostly, and it is present at the Trojan War. It's a long one, and as I recall, it's been a long time since I've read it, but it's a good one, as good as I can recall. And this was from 77? 79. Okay. Then we have it's from Archie. It's a Red Circle Comics, but it was Archie. A Katy King special from 1983 by Bill Wagon. And this is Katy King. Of course, she was a model, and she was for Archie for many years. It had a big old long gap and brought her back back in the 80s. And this is from 1983. And I think these are, and here you see the back cover, Katy King special. But this back cover illustration, I think, was more recent. The other stories. Here's Katy King as a Jungle Queen. And each costume. Okay, first of all, she's an actress here starring in a movie where she's the Jungle Queen. But I think these stories were from the late 40s to early 50s, and they're just being reprinted here. Some really nice artwork, and focuses, of course, it always focused a lot on the fashion. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful dress. And of course, she had paper towels, paper dolls, and costumes always. Her outfits are always credited to various, were sent in by readers and stuff. And I had a few other Katy King issues as well. And this is Katy King Special number 1, 1983. Then we go to Edge of Chaos from PC Comics. This was 86, I think it was. 83. No, this is also 83. Okay. Issues 1, 2, and 3. And this was a fantasy and science fiction storyline, written and drawn by Gray Morrow. Some great Morrow stuff. It's fantasy and science fiction. It's some guy going through some time travel. He's a sailor, and he's taken back somewhere in time, but it also has, or someplace, another dimension, where it has weird godlike beings and super science and all kinds of stuff going on. And it's really cool stuff. So that's issue 1. Issue 2 and issue 3. Oh, it's all great stuff. And then, but with issue 3, that's what first time it says recommended for mature readers. And it does have a little bit of nudity here on the extra nudity here on the cover, but you can't really see anything. And I don't think. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of nudity inside of it, didn't have there. Then we go from, this is 1989, and what was the publisher again? Alchemy Studios had a short-lived book called this, Profolio. This is Profolio number 1, volume 2. Now I remember getting a few of these, and they were just always stuff unrelated. It was just like portfolio stories by prospective writers and artists that they published. And this one was by Ron Wilbur, the main story, and then it has some other bits of artwork in there as well. I had a few issues with these. I like Ron Wilbur. He did some underground fanzine stuff, and the like. He even had a couple of color pages, and that's a lot of fun. And then we want to finish that up with this issue of Green Arrow number 28. This was from also 1990, wasn't it? Yeah, 1990. But this is written by Mike Grell and drawn by Dan Jurgens. And but this is cool because it's a team up with two of the characters that Mike Grell were so closely identified with, was Green Arrow and Travis Morgan, the Warlord. And so it had the Jurgens art, and which was bearing a striking resemblance to, at this time, to Grell's own work, because he kind of started with Grell. And it's a lot of fun. So that's what I've got for you for this sampling this time of just a variety of comic books, all covering several decades. So I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe, and do leave a comment. Your comments are always appreciated. And let me know what you think in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.